Yo. Yes, my people, what's good up in the hood, guys? Welcome back to Danny AFC TV. We know how this goes. The very realist YouTube channel out there. Guys, first of all, please get the likes on the video. Do be subscribing if we is new. Straight talking, I can't lie. We've had a couple of quiet streams recently. I don't know if that's like from coming out from the village or etc. But who knows? Who cares? All I know is I have to put the work in again, get about my A game, get that information, the transfer information first. Even though still most things that I've said, I make myself right on. Whether it was the failed January bids, the flirting with Sasado, flirting with Modric, I kind of knew Arsenal was barking up the wrong tree with Sasado. Modric we could have got done. As the president said, we flirted with him for 8 months. He half actually even said we illegally tapped Modric up, sold him the dream, and then tried to bid with the club and agreed a fee. But that there is history. Guys, it's Nottingham Forest tomorrow. If Nottingham Forest win tomorrow, I reckon they could pretty much be safe from relegation. So shouts out to Nottingham Forest, you know what I mean? Which would be quite an impressive season for them. Okay, yes, they did spend money, and it was quite a lot of money, but other teams have come up and done this, you know what I mean? Norwich, you know what I mean? They usually come up and down, don't spend money. Other teams have thrown money at it and failed. And it's probably a couple of the cheapest, maybe not cheaper, I don't know. Brennan Johnson seems to have been good. The keeper's been good at points. The one from Man United, and they got someone in January. Gibbs White, Danilo's been good since January. My son asked me for it. Oh no, this is the first comment we're going to look at. Shouts out to Hussein Jumar. Right, yeah, respect. Shouts out to all the real ones, all the people them in the manor. So who have we had so far? Was I a little bit late? So we've had Craig, we've had Hussein Juma. Shouts out to all the real ones. Guys, as you know, the other pictures ain't on the wall because obviously I've sort of just come back to the, let's just say to the ends. There was a bit of sabotage on the Arsenal beautiful lit up picture, but don't worry, I'll have a send for a new one. I'll get that one fixed. Everything else will be sorted out in the next few days. Guys, regarding transfer news, I hear Patino is going to go. Let me just see what Juma said here. Sorry, that seems a bit mad. My son asked me for a Man City shirt today, even a counterfeit one. I told him I only spend my money on you and on Arsenal shirts. Bro, I'd rather send him one immediately from the UK, right from the shop. Guys, official as well. The new Arsenal home kit is out next Friday. So, I don't know, 6 days and a few hours and counting. It looks the exact same. I think what is the Fly Emirates bit in the middle is that bit a little bit gold. I think that could be the only change. It was £70 last summer for the free kicks each, obviously, or for the free tops. So I reckon it should stay the same, but it could go up to £75. Shouts out to all the real ones though. Guys, please be getting the likes on the video. Do be subscribing if you're new. I said from January as well, unless we got the January window, and I'm not trying to always say I'm right, we would not win the league. Then when we were 7 points clear, at the end of the January window, February the 1st, I predicted would finish second. I says we wouldn't have enough. And I was more, in all realness, probably pissed off at the January signings. I said Trossard was a dickhead. He's proven me right now the last few weeks with the big games. You know what I mean? You see when we're drawing or getting beat up by Man City, Trossard is proven he's a fool. Jorginho, he can play all right against normal teams. But a physical midfield, a Declan Rice, a Sasado, players that are interested in, or allegedly, would run rings around him. Any hard-working players, you know what I mean? Liverpool, they're waking up. They're realising they're getting rid of Firmino, Oxlade-Chamberlain. I think Cater's on his way. They're releasing so many people and getting the deadwood out. And I think Arsenal could be doing that with the 12 players that I did mention the other night. Exactly, looks to be gone. 13 million by Leverkusen. Balogun, 20 goals in 35 games in France. Like, Nketiah wouldn't go Rems and get 20 goals in 35 games. But anyway, Balogun, gone. Why? Disrespect on his name. Emil Smith-Rowe, gone. But I hear he's going to start tomorrow. Tierney, gone. Mari, out the door. Ainsley Maitland-Miles, gone. Cedric Suarez, gone. Nuno Tavares, gone. Lokonga, gone. Nelson, gone. Holden, gone. And Nicola Pepe, gone. I have heard we've offered Nelson a new deal again yesterday. Is this just to fill up the English quota? Could there be a couple of English players leaving? I heard, but I don't know if I really necessarily believe it. Even though we can't finish higher than second, I think Arteta will still put his strongest team out. But I hear Emil Smith-Rowe and Nelson are set for starts against Forest tomorrow. Guys, do be with me for the watch along tomorrow. It is a 5:30 kickoff, so I'll be in the building from around 5 p.m. So, guys, please get the likes on the video. Do be subscribing if we is new, as always. El Neni should be gone to Turkey. Guys, have you heard Wilfred Zaha? Because he isn't getting offered the money, allegedly, from the English clubs or his preferred choices, which is rumoured to be Arsenal and Chelsea, Fenerbahce allegedly are looking to pay him exactly what he wants, a 4-year deal, £220,000 a week. Considering there is no fee on this, I know he's 31, but statistically, he is still one of the most fouled players in the Premier League. I'm sure Arsenal, his goals and assists would actually improve, even if he wasn't necessarily a starter or a player that was always going to be in the first 11. Zaha, for me, is better than Trossard. Do you know what I mean? He's better than Nelson. So if Saka or Martinelli was to be injured or perhaps playing bad in a game, the last 15, 20 minutes, yes, Zaha would be a good option. Do you know what I mean? It isn't rocket science. He's on a free transfer. Tillerman's also on a free transfer. His name has popped back up. Something like similar to what Jumra said. He seems to have lost his passion for football. Do you know what it is? Leicester are in a shit situation, and he just isn't one of them passionate battlers, guys. You can see it written all over his face. It seems like Tillerman's had left Leicester almost last summer, and then after Rodgers, the bad start to this season, it seemed to just get worse on him. Shouts out to the Real One, Lee Akers. What's going on, man? No, mate, I'm not having Tillerman's at all. I'm just saying, again, players that we've been linked with. Now, this Martin Zubimendi that I even have personally said, I reckon we will get. Rumours are that we will throw in the release clause to the Spanish government, similar to what we did with Atletico Madrid and Thomas Partey, for the 45 million deal that it goes to the government in Spain, and then it gets passed on to the football team for whatever reason. So again, Arsenal don't really have to negotiate with Real Sociedad. There's nothing Barcelona can do. Now, with Busquets apparently on his way from Barcelona, or could be on his way, and certain obviously financial situations going on there, even though it doesn't make sense, people are saying Zubimendi could now be a smart sign for Barcelona. Now, I'm sure they haven't got the money for this. With Neymar, I'm not saying becoming available, but PSG have made it clear Neymar can go, Messi can go. This is more the type of caliber player Barcelona would love. They've won the league. Do you know what I mean? So they're already kind of winning in Spain. Do you know what I mean? They just need to have a decent Champions League run next season. But again, there is no smoke without fire. I don't get it again. Like Lee, for you, for me, all right, he can play on the left, but for me, he's a a sort of number 10, the Odegaard role. Like, if it's for competition for places, bro, so like, okay, Odegaard probably, like everyone else, he goes missing. He needs a bit of competition. I don't think Mason Mount is necessarily the answer. But then what happens to Emil Smith-Rowe? He'll never get minutes again, mate. What happens to Vieira? Now, again, honestly, and I know it's harsh, I don't care what happens to Vieira or Emil Smith-Rowe. I'd rather the better player. If you asked me who was the better player between Maddison and Mount, I actually think I'd give it to Maddison. Do you know what I mean? This guy's at Chelsea. When it was going well on the Lampard and all the kids were doing well and they got top 4 when Lampard done well for that season, when they had the transfer embargo, Mason Mount in periods looked all right. I'm not sure about him. Do you know what I mean? I don't think there would be a stampede from the top 4 clubs. Liverpool are allegedly interested in him, but then again, their midfield has to change over. They usually work with that sort of the Henderson, the Milners, the Caters, the Fabinos, the strong free midfielders. Now, again, we hear they want the rock solid, the kind of Rice Saicedo type, and they want the Jude Bellingham, which they can't afford. So that could be the more attacking type, and that could be someone like McAllister, who they've been linked with. Good evening, Linda. But Liverpool have also been linked with Mason Mount, but I think they prefer McAllister. Honestly, we know McAllister's going to go for about £70 million. He signed a contract just before the World Cup. Desegri has already said he knows he's going. Like, he goes, listen, there's players here that are probably a level above Brighton, you know what I mean? Even if we get into Europe. So he said, Saicedo is gone. McAllister's gone. He said, players like Mintoma and others, you know what I mean? Stick with me for another season or 2. I'll make you a star. Mudrak, I think that could be an interesting one in the summer. Pochettino, Like he loved the little winger at Tottenham, and I don't know. I think he's going to want a couple of players in the forward lines. Should we go in for Eric Dyer? Why would we say that? Absolutely not. Absolutely not, brothers. Is that a trick question? Again, you've pointed out there's Mark Gui at Crystal Palace, brothers. You know, with all respect, it's just Crystal Palace. You know what I mean? They're going to have to get a replacement for Eze, probably Zaha. Do you know what I mean? Eze wasn't really played under Vieira, which was a strange one. Do you know what I mean? But Eze has had an absolutely smashing end to the season. Elbow court. What was this one here? Should we go for Eric Dyer? Why? He is terrible. What about bringing Callum Chambers back? Lee's on a bit of a mad one with Danny AFC TV because again, Lee, it isn't. You say I don't like any signings, but mate, at least I don't diver with it. I'm not going to change halfway through. I said I didn't like Jacob, didn't like Jorginho, didn't like Trossard. And again, sorry, we didn't win the league. We're 7 points clear. As Jummer said, we're 10 points clear at 1 point. You know what I mean? Man City obviously got FA Cup finals, all sorts. You know what I mean? European fucking commitments. I don't know. But yeah, Mark Gui, like you said, perhaps Lee. I think Levi Colwill, the guy at Chelsea, is better. And from what I'm hearing from this guy, after his loan at Huddersfield a couple of seasons ago, after his loan this season at Brighton, and Desegri's already said this is a very, very special defender, and he doesn't know if he can afford to keep him at Brighton, or if even Chelsea want to sanction a permanent transfer. Again, why do business with Chelsea for Mason Mount, or Willian, or Peter Cech, or David Luiz? Do you know what I mean? Or probably N'Golo and Kane in the summer, bros. Do I want you to come on? Maybe if you want for the last 15 minutes, bros. 10:45 to 11. I want those two players anywhere near Arsenal. I knew that, brother. And I thought maybe you were saying that again, because a lot of players won't do it. Again, bro, I'd rather academy players. Like, if anyone could give me a sensible answer why Nketiah can't score over 10 goals in a season. Like, do you know Balogun? Nketiah, how many goals has Eddie Nketiah scored in his career?
Eddie Nketiah has 14 goals during his Premier League career.
Yeah, 14. He scored under 20 goals in his career. I couldn't name you any Reims player, yeah? And I know France is a bit of a farmers' league. But why would Balogun just be getting fucked off like this? Now, I've heard Guendouzi's style. Do you know what I mean? And Balogun said it in an interview around the January window. I want to come back to Arsenal, but I want to be a number one striker. I have no fear from anyone that's there. Do you know what I mean? I wasn't sent out on loan because I couldn't score goals. I was told to basically grow up and become a man. He goes, I've done that with all due respect. I come to a different country, different language, different food. I'm hearing we're going to let him go. After watching Man City versus Madrid, I'm so pissed that we wasted a chance to win the league this season because Man City are a level of their own above every other team. Yes, bruv, and exactly. It took Liverpool a few seasons to grind them down, finishing second. If Man City starts right, we won't catch them like this season. I couldn't agree more, mate. But again, I think top four was quite a bad bottle job, mate. Do you know what I mean? Managers have lost their jobs, Emery, on bottle jobs. You know what I mean? Exactly. And again, Anfield, I accept the draw. It was the Southamptons, the West Hams. Do you know what I mean? How do you concede 3 at home to Southampton? Yeah, mate, and they sing that song, and I don't honestly get that either. Do you know what I mean? And it does seem that the fan base are a little bit too forgiving. And this summer, Lee, again, I know you didn't mean the Chambers or the Eric Dyer, but bro, Ben White has clearly got problems there, yeah? And if we do this Cancelo one, which I can honestly see us doing, it's going to cost us 40, 50 million quid, bros. Do you know what I mean? 50 million right back, twice, Ben White and Cancelo. Will Ben White go and battle with Saliba back in the centre of the park? What will happen to Ben White at right back? And I think, you know what I mean, the way Zinni, Akers, you've called for Tierney to be in the team many times, you know what I mean? If Guardiola ever wanted Tierney, it's because obviously there must be a good player in him. The Premier's becoming even worse. In what terms, bro? It isn't, brother. Like, again, 2016, Leicester, when they won the league, you know what I mean? It was a funny year this year, not to disrespect what Arsenal did or try to disrespect what Arteta, Edu, or whatever did. But again, I promise you, I give you my full word. As much as it might piss all of you off, this season, I mean, next season will not be like this season. Well, again, bros, Liverpool did. Do you know what I mean? Liverpool did, bros. And it wasn't mad money everywhere. They knew they needed a right king of a centre half, and their goalkeepers were costing them Champions League finals, Karius and whatever. Man City, even if they're cheating, are doing it 100% right. Well, yeah, they're going around all kinds of avenues. You know what I mean? You've heard, obviously, I'm sure either on radio or whatever, internet, they want one of the people in the case against them now for all this Premier League, all the bullshit that's around him. Because he's an Arsenal fan, they want him off the case. Do you know what I mean? Offend them, Jean. I'm saying that they're on a different level to everyone else. They most certainly are, bros, but they're human. And if Arsenal get knocked out of the Champions League, like I think we will straight away, you know what I mean? We can't even put together a good run in the Europa League or the League Cup or the FA Cup. If that happens next season, Man City will have another fixture pile up, bros. Do you know what I mean? And no one can just win all 38 Premier League games. Liverpool got the title off them, bros. You know what I mean? That was on the strength of having Salah and Mane, two wonderful wingers who scored a lot of goals, you know what I mean? That helps so much. Three strong midfielders, you know what I mean? You know, it can be done. And when you're 10 points clear, brother, as I said, Lee, I would have rather we bought no one. Jorginho, for me, ain't that good, you know? No way near that level. Why would Chelsea want to get rid of him? You know what I mean? Jacob I'd never heard of. I don't think he's good enough. But he's suddenly getting a run now. You know what I mean? And Trossard. Wait, that is £28 million too much. Of course, mate. And we know that. But again, they are human. People say you need to have a settled manager, a settled squad, you know what I mean? Well, we've had this same manager now 3.5, 4 years, you know? It ain't like there's an exodus of players like Henry's or Fabregas and Nasri leaving us to go Man City, you know what I mean? But the reason that is, Lieko, is because Man City would manipulate us and take the piss out of us, like they did when they first got their Qatari money or whatever. Adebayor, Gael Clichy, Nasri, do you know what I mean? All went there, you know what I mean? But the truth is, we haven't got players of that sort of caliber now. Would they want Ramsdale? No. Would they want Ben White? Fuck no. Do you know what I mean? Who would they want from Arsenal, guys? They got the fucking rid of Zinchenko and fucking Jesus. They want Cancelo out the door, but they want top money for him, bros. It ain't like we get these players for cheap, you know what I mean? Club owners fault if the cash flow, they give a flying balls about trophies the last 2 summers. And we've been the biggest spenders. Well, we've definitely been up there, bros, you know what I mean? But again, sometimes spending wrong. 35 million Vieira, you know what I mean? The 52 million in January, what if that comes off the summer budget? You know what I mean? You can't get that money back for any of them players. No one would give you 28 for Trossard. No one would give Brighton 28 in January when it was publicly known that they didn't want him there. And they didn't even want him training with the first team. And De Zerbi thought he was a dickhead and thought Brighton were better off without them. Jacob Awori, I'd never heard of him, with all respect. Do you know what I mean? And Jorginho, well, I never liked him at Chelsea or ever got it. And interesting. But again, because of the super fans and the bullshit, and a lot of the just idiot Arsenal fans in general, we punched above our weight this season. We would have took second. Okay. But what happens next season? Do you know what I mean? If we did have an FA Cup run, there's going to be 6 tough games in the Champions League, Wednesday, Saturday. That's going to fuck us up. I agree with that. What's up, bro? Suddenly Bayern in for Rice. Again, bros, we all know Bayern, man. They admire a lot of people, but yeah, they just won't do it, bros. They're similar to Arsenal and that sort of thing. As soon as the big guns come calling, like Bayern Munich will compete with Arsenal because they could offer the same sort of wages and pay the same sort of fee. But if Man City and anyone else come in, Man United, Bayern ain't got a chance either. You know what I mean? Bayern wouldn't stand a chance. Bayern know the levels, you know what I mean? They got Mane because, yeah, he wasn't the youngest no more. But Mane wants out of there. Offend the Barbie, Wagwan UE. And shouts out to you, Daniel He. Guys, please get the likes on the video. Where is Gallas? Probably hiding at Chelsea or something. Merhaba. But yeah, that wouldn't happen, bruv. You know what I mean? Rice, honestly, from what I hear, he doesn't even want to leave London, let alone the Premier League, bruv. Juma, my skipper, Danny is my gaffer. Absolutely love it. Guys, please hit the likes on the video. Do be subscribed if you're new. Now, again, guys, and Yui, I'm talking to you, brother. Yeah? And you know, I've got this habit of being right. We can't do this to Sado and Rice thing. It's going to be financial as well. Even if we did sell Balogun, Emil Smith-Rowe, KT, after that, we can't get a heck of a lot of money for our players. We won't sell Nketiah and Balogun because we had no strikers at one point this season. Bro, I've always said it. Do you know what I mean? It will be the ultimate fuck you to Arsenal. And I did say, my first prediction was he wouldn't play for the club. Then he got in the France team, yeah? Everyone in the world was noticing him. Even Per Mertesacker and other Arsenal staff were like, well, yeah, we're all noticing what this guy's doing. But Arteta or Edu didn't. They didn't want him at the club. They gave Ben White his shirt. He started doing so well, that was it. What would you do? You'd bring him back, and after he's displaced and took Ben White's position out of the team and sent Ben White to right back and never lost his place, and then we lose a title race when he gets injured, I'd give him a contract. Well, I hear Ben White's been offered a contract. Unbelievable. He earns 130 grand a week, yeah? What are you going to give him? 150, 160, 170? Where is Saliba's deal? Ramsdale, with all respect, okay, he's a decent keeper. He's just signed a bumper new deal. Yeah? Only Nelson and Turner are the only 2 players that earn less than Saliba, bros. It's a disrespecting. Who do you want as manager? Do you know what I'd do? I'd go with the same plan when we sacked Emery, because he's going to be available in a couple of days. Because, yeah, Real Madrid are out of the Champions League and they didn't win the league. I'll take Ancelotti on a 2-year deal, but he has to take, yeah? We could have done Arteta at that time, but I'd rather not Arteta now, and he wouldn't go to number 2, a demotion. But yeah, bring Vieira as he's available, or Henry as the number 2, yeah? And groom them and get them ready to take over from you in 2 or 3 seasons. That's what I'll do. I'll tell Ancelotti, you know what I mean? It's your last big job, probably. 2-3-year contract. Sort this out, do you know what I mean? Make us great again. And yeah, bring Henry or Vieira, your number 2. Both also plus Champions League money. All right, let's work this out again, yeah? Brighton and West Ham. West Ham are saying all this stupidness. They would accept. Bro, I'm hearing from the club, yeah? Because Man City said they would give the youth from Leeds, Calvin Phillips. I'm hearing Man City, West Ham would only rate Phillips at like 20 million, and they would still want in excess of 75 million for Declan Rice. So basically, a player swap probably isn't the best option in all realness. Do you know what I mean? So it's going to be a cash in, and as I've always said, it's going to be who bids. He's only got 2 years left on his contract. He's made it clear he ain't going to stay any longer. Yeah? So I'm just trying to turn on this light. It's looking a bit dark. Yeah? He clearly ain't going to stay any longer. It's already alleged that he'll never leave the Premier League. He hasn't got no interest in playing abroad. Again, hard to actually prove it right now on the stream, but it's alleged that he doesn't even want to leave London. And Chelsea he supports, and he's always been gutted that he never got a fair chance at Chelsea, and he's publicly admitted he would love to play for his boyhood heroes, and he would make his dad the happiest person in the world or whatever. He's from a family full of Chelsea fans. So I think Chelsea is the natural target if Pochettino wants him. Do you know what I mean? Alongside Enzo in the midfield. Because who else have they got alongside the £100 million man? Who is Enrique? I don't know, bros. Better than Arteta, but bros are never Spanish, dude. No, man. Well, go on, brother. Tierney 30. Bro, hold on. So we've got a left back that people like Guardiola and Newcastle, Champions League teams here, with all respect, they want Tierney. And we say 30 mil. Yeah? How could we get 40 for Emil Smith Rowe? Like, he probably hasn't played 180 minutes this season, bros. Balogun 30. I think he's worth it. Lokonga 10, 15. Axako 15. Party 10, 140 million there, bro. All right, let's round it off and say 150 with the Maris and whatever, yeah? 150. So even if Kroenke gave us 150 on top, that would be 300 million, yeah? And I've got a team that basically is about 300 million. Guys, please hit the likes on the video. Do be subscribing if you're new, yeah? And I was penning this down yesterday, bros. I think this was about £300 million. Rice will cost you about 90 million, yeah? Unless no one bids. It's a bit overpriced, but boy. Caicedo has got 5 years on his deal and was made a very rich young guy between January and the end of this season to protect Brighton's value of the player. That will come out in the next couple of weeks, isn't it? By the end of the season, most. But it won't be a penny less than 90, bros. Yeah? And who knows? It could be as much as 100 million. Now, Liverpool are rumoured to want Caicedo, but they won't go to 100 million. If Man City don't get Rice, they might go for Caicedo. Do you know what I mean? PSG could go for Caicedo. They've got the money. They want a midfielder. They might lose out on Bellingham to Real Madrid. If we get one of them, we're doing well. But anyway, 90 million Rice, 90 million Caicedo. Cancelo, let's say we get him cheap, 40 million. What's that already? 220, yeah? So that's 220 already, yeah? Just with 3 players. 2 midfielders and Cancelo. So if another £80 million then, theoretically, bro. So if we said the Kroenkes were going to give us, like, we get 130, 140 the last couple of seasons. Say we get 150 this year. We make 150 in transfers. So we've got 300 million all in, yeah? And you don't even have to count Zaha or Tillemans. They're frees, obviously, yeah? Who would you bring in? Bearing in mind, if you want Rice and Caicedo, bro, that will never be cheaper than 180 mil. It's got to be 90 million each, yeah? And if Man City want to go on wicked, or PSG want to go on wicked, or Man United, or even Liverpool for that matter, the sky's the limit. Caicedo's got a very long contract. You know what I mean? There's nothing he can do if the contract or the release clause isn't met. Zubimendi will be more our style at 53 million euros, you know what I mean? Just under 50 million pounds, you know what I mean? Probably a little yes man, never played for his country in his life, you know what I mean? Exactly Arteta's style. But guys, if we were to get, and this is Liakers, this is UE, Ty, if we was to get Rice, Caicedo and Cancelo, that's about 220 million pounds. What else would we need with about 80 million if we had an 80 million budget after that? Right. Let me get in the comments. Try something trying to link me. One bro had to bust out after that. Oh, hold on. Try something. Try that link. Bust out after that. Bro, I don't even get that. Sorry, what was that? What you? I didn't even get it. Licking. I'm baffed as well. What you saying, Ty? UE party 10 million. He's worth at least 3 times that. Again, probably, but with his age, we haven't really had a stampede for people trying to buy him. Remember, bros, players are worth what clubs are willing to pay. And in all honesty, bros, not many clubs are willing to pay a lot of money for Arsenal players. Who? I think we could lose, and that could make them safe. And I've always thought that as well. But again, it would make Arteta look like a bigger fool. Do you know what I mean? Even though he's got bigger things to worry about. Why would you give a guy take the number 4 shirt off Saliba? Grass. Well, you know, one of them flies went past me that make that noise. Zip, zip, zip. Yeah, why would you take the shirt off him to bring him back after his 3-year loan to then make your £50 million centre back a right back? I think Arteta is going to struggle to do that. Shouts out to all the real ones. Please be getting the likes on the video. 10 of us here, so please, let's get the likes on the video. Big up to the brothers. My prediction, we're coming 4th next season. Again, yeah, if we get 4th, I think we're lucky. Because we're going to be fucking around in that Champions League. Who's up for it? Yeah, brother. What, new home shirt? The new home shirt is out next Friday. On top, other than Rice, Cancelo. So that means you'd have 80 million to buy. Who would you spend 80 million pounds? Maybe the guy from Germany, Kolo Manani. No, bros. West Ham. Yeah, mate. Nice for Declan Rice as well, man. He can bow out a winner in the Europa Conference League. That's the answer. We've had a better season than you lot if we win this cup. I wouldn't say so, bros. Not at all. I'd rather be top 4 than win that fucking cup. Do you know what I mean? With all respect. And yeah, you're losing Declan Rice. But Cancelo, 40 mil, yeah? And that's at the best price you'll get him. Left for Spurs. That sounds like our Gallas. Yeah, you know it, innit? That sounds like the Gallas we all know, bruv. Them vulture kind of people. But come on, guys. If we got, like UE says, Rice, Caicedo, and Cancelo, that is minimum £220 million. How much more would we spend? Well, no, not really. But the thing is, we was in the Europa League this year. How could we have demoted ourselves to get into that competition, bros? If we was in it, I'd want to win it. But we'd have to have a proper shit season to be in it. Yeah, the vultures there. It's true, bros. But come on, guys, seriously, I need an answer to this before I can move on into some news. Howe Felix is going to be available because Chelsea have got Christopher Nkunku, whether Pochettino likes it or not. He's got the option to bring back Lukaku. I'm hearing he could. He's got Broja, Aubameyang to deal with. We're not so sure. I'm hearing that he wants to spend the £65 million to make Howe Felix permanent. I'm hearing Emil Smith Rowe and Nelson could start tomorrow. I wonder why could that be? Nelson, so he signs a new deal. Why has he been offered a 3rd contract? You know what I mean? Zaha has been linked with Fenerbahce. Could he be on his way to Turkey? Because, wait, it sounds like Arsenal don't want to give him the money he wants. Mason Mount continuously been linked with Arsenal. I want you guys to continue with this. Cancelo, Rice, Zubamendi, or Caicedo. We're not getting both. You've won 4 trophies in the last 20 years, and you went to pick and choose what trophies you want to win. No, but we weren't in it, bros. You have to be in it to win it, and like the Europa League is a better competition. Like, you know it, innit? You know it, bros. Seriously. And mate, the Italians, you know what I mean? I don't know what the Fiorentina fans are like, but Italians, if it was Napoli, they would want to be having it with your fans as well, the way you want to be trying to give it every stadium you go. Now, again, not that I'm totally against anything like that or blah, 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 anyone having a row, but, mate, your fans will probably cause so much mayhem before the game, bruv. So, like, yeah, the trophy will be lost already. Where are you going, Linda? Don't you dare. Guys, please be getting the likes on the videos. I'd rather us win the Conference League than top four. What is the point of qualifying for the Champions League if you're only going to get knocked out? I think because it's the money, bruvs. Obviously, I believe Arsenal can attract any player. It's all about money, you know what I mean? If we went for Messi now, why would he want to turn us down? Light years, exactly. Like, good luck to West Ham, do you know what I mean? But it is the fucking Conference League. Do you know what I mean? It gives you a spot in the Europa League. That should show you the levels, bros. Not much, I don't know. I might have done a bit, you know what I mean? Back in the 60s, 50s, who knows? Yeah, so have I. I ain't got no problem with West Ham. Do you know what I mean? Especially like, you know what I mean? They've got a midfielder we could be taking off them. Do you know what I mean? They're resigned to losing him at long last. They just want as much money as possible. But again, if Premiership teams, Premier League teams are smart, no one has to go and bid silly money for him. Let me ask you a question. If we sign Tilden, Caicedo, and nobody else, can that team challenge next season? Well, if we was really lucky with injuries, like look, with Saliba going out, would it be Holding or Jacob to be the replacements? I wouldn't be happy with that. Ben White gets skinned by Mintona or Rashford or any just good winger. Do you know what I mean? But it would make us a lot stronger team. But again, when Saka and Martinelli are having a bit of a blip, or if one of them get injury, because we've been lucky with them two this season, do you know what I mean? They've been pretty injury free. But look at Jesus. Has he even scored 10 league goals? Look at Nketiah. Nketiah has scored 14 goals in his whole career. He's 24, coming 25. But we gave him the fucking legend number 14 shirt and 100 grand a week. So if we're giving Nketiah that kind of money, and then we really are desperate to sell Balogun, who in one season in France, and it ain't even finished yet, there's still 2 games left, in one season, for a shitty club like Revs, who I couldn't tell you any of their players, because they were fucking so shit, yeah? He has scored more than Nketiah in his career, in one loan season. Why would he be getting dismissed without even a pre-season? Do we need the money that bad? Why doesn't Arteta just admit, shit, Balogun might be better? Sell Nketiah. And I think it does as well, Bubs, because yes, we'll be a lot tighter. Like, listen, if we got Cancelo and we have Zilly at left back, Zilly goes missing a lot, Bubs. Hence why a lot of people wanted KT back in the team, yeah? I love the way Zilly plays. But against top class teams and in the Champions League, Bubs, he will let you down. Pep Guardiola ain't trying to make Arsenal win nothing, Bubs. You know what I mean? If he see Arsenal as a genuine threat, do you know what I mean? Like, would he have sold Liverpool, Cancelo, Zinchenko, and Jesus in the last window or two if Liverpool was a genuine threat like there was before this season? I don't think he would have. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I don't think we really need the Man City players. Cancelo, very good. He will look good against Burnley. He will look good against Nottingham Forest, etc. But Champions League, him and Zenny, wow. We would badly need Saliba Gabriel on their top fucking uh, fucking class A game, top fucking A game, and Caicedo and Rice would have to be there to fill in almost at fullbacks because Cancelo and Zinni will go missing. Let me ask you another question. If we had Haaland instead of City? Would we be champions rather than City? To be honest with you, bros, I think so. Because when we were 10 points ahead, and then 7 points, and then we went and fucked up in January and got Jorginho and Trossard, when we had no strikers scoring, we had Jesus out, Nketiah not on scoring, any manager would have went and got a striker. Alone, anything. I think Arteta might be just a little bit stupid. Does he really not see it? Do you know what I mean? Again, Odegaard has had good numbers. Odegaard is best friends with Haaland. I think them two would be an unbelievable combination because obviously they want to suck each other off so hard. Do you know what I mean? So it ain't rocket science. Haaland and Odegaard, do you know what I mean? What's Odegaard got? Like 15 goals and what assists? It would have been more with Haaland around. Yeah? Saka and Martinelli providing Haaland. He might not have got 50, but 35, 40. If he got 30 goals or 35 league goals, we're winning the league. Take Jesus and Nketiah's fucking 10 goals between them away and add 25, 30 goals onto that from Haaland. We win the league, bros. We win the league. 100%. So yeah, even though that sounds a little bit crazy and I might sound like a madman, Caicedo and Rice is badly needed. But bruv, again, goals. Jesus ain't that good, bros. You know what I mean? He went 10 without a goal. Fuck. Trossard, go look at his career stats, bros. He ain't that good. We couldn't even get the opposition goal. But alright, the 3-3 against Southampton. I reckon it would have been 4-3. Haaland is shit hot, bros. He likes to score 5 in a game. I agree with you. But bro, Haaland is a one-off, innit? Bro, 50 goals. 50 goals, bro. 50 goals. If we had Haaland and they had fucking Jesus and Zinchenko, we win the league. Our side backs are not good enough. Sometimes this seems disconnected. But I think that's because they're watching out for their idiot fullbacks, you know what I mean? It is more than just a super striker, and there is no other Haaland, you know what I mean? So there's no point thinking about it. Well, I actually agree with that as well, bros, but there's no other striker that can come and get 50 goals, bros. Do you know what I mean? As I said, how many goals have Arsenal scored this season? Yeah? Put 30 on top if Haaland was there. We win the league. Southampton, we would have won. West Ham, they could have scored 2 against us, 3 against us. It doesn't matter. Because Haaland would have ended up getting one. Even if you look at him this season, how many times he scores a goal and it's his second touch. That happened the other day. It was his second touch of the game. He scores. Do you know what I mean? That's against Real Madrid. After what was it? Half an hour, whatever it was. Second half or whatever. I don't know. 30, 40 minutes gone. He had touched the ball once. Passes and tactics. What are the players around him? We don't have that quality yet. Bro, he's always said his dream is to play with Odegaard and not just in an international team. Their plan is to play with each other at club team. Do you know what I mean? Whether it's Arsenal, Man City, Real Madrid. Do you know what I mean? These two will end up at the same team. They love each other, innit? I know this 100%. Odegaard will leave to go to wherever Haaland goes or vice versa. And yeah, it ain't like Saka's shit, bruv. You know what I mean? And it ain't like Martinelli's shit. But, and yeah, with a Haaland around them, I think that makes Saka and Martinelli possibly better. I think Odegaard has had a brilliant season statistically. His numbers have been on point. I think his numbers are better if he has his little best friend Haaland with him. Don't know if he'll get them numbers. Remember, it's Italy, and we could say that about Haaland, but Haaland will just score goals anywhere. But Osimhen, yeah, he's a little bit tall, but he's fast, yeah. I don't know. If he hasn't got them numbers in Italy, I don't know. Remember, Lukaku's probably got 20 goals this season. I don't know. Top goal scorers in the Italian Serie A.
Here's what I found.
So sorry, guys. But I hear Lookman, the former Fulham guy, an Everton guy, he's in the race to be top scorer in Italy. Osimhen, 23 goals. Martinez, Inter Milan, 20 goals. And then Dia, who the fuck is that? 15 goals. Lookman, 13 goals, Atlanta. Raphael's a winner. AC Milan not doing well, 12 goals. Osimhen scored 14 goals. He scored 14 goals last season and 20 this season, 23. That's 40 goals in 2 seasons. Were they league goals? I think that's 23 goals all in, bros. I don't think that's that shit hot. Now, I wouldn't turn Victor Osimhen down, and he'll get more goals than Jesus and Nketiah put together. But, bro, 23 goals for a team that's won the league, and they've won it by a country mile, bros. Bros, got good on our Turkish brother. Bros, I love this geezer, bros. The last couple of years, he's been unbelievable. Much better than Genie on a free. We paid 12 million. Yeah, bros. And obviously, if he's got the respect of these Man City players and can buy Man City players like Cancelo and Zinchenko and Jesus, why can't he get one that will be proper useful to us? Again, Gundogan are free. They might have accepted 12 in January, even though I doubt it. I reckon that our Turkish brother will stay for another season. Where can he go? Awesome addition, if we can get him. Again, 23 goals in Italy. Is that league goals as well? That's going to bug me. How many league goals has Victor Osimhen scored in Italy?
I found this on the web.
Alright. We know he went from France, 70 mil. 10 goals the first season. Alright, cool. That says he's got 28 goals this season in 36 games. Anyway, 56 goals in 3 years. Almost 20 goals a season. I think that's less in the Premier League, but alright. Haaland doesn't need a manager. Most definitely. I wonder, does he take pens? I'm not sure. Scored 10 goals following campaign. Goals for Lille. He scored 18 goals. Alright, bros, I don't know if he fucking takes penalties, but someone else can come and find this out for me like a legend, you know what I mean? 23 goals, bros. Again, 23 goals. Haaland does that in about, I don't know, 7, 8 games. But yeah, it would be better. And maybe I'd say with the better service of Odegaard, Martinelli, Saka, maybe he could get more at Arsenal. But the Premier League is a lot tougher league, bros. Like, I like Rafael Leo. But again, in England, he might fucking struggle. Please have a massive like, bros. It's out September, apparently. Well, again, get rid of him. Wasn't the greatest signing. Do you know what I mean? Like Arteta, where does he find these obscure fullbacks in Italy? Jacob Awori or centre back, and then Tomiyasu. Do you know what I mean? The centre back thing. Now he's playing the left-footed centre back. Again, I don't think he's good enough, bros. But if he's Gabriel's replacement, do you know what I mean? So again, bros, how again do you expect this money? Because he's going to want to throw a Jacob Awori or a Trossard or a Jorginho. He might want to get N'Golo and Kante, help Chelsea out, and Mason Mount. Levi Colwill shows Chelsea is class. Why wouldn't we go for him? Do you know what I mean? We leave it and leave it. But yeah, Ramsdale new deal, guys. Xavi Simons, PSV attacking midfielder. What do you think, guys? Ferland Mendy. Why would we want to buy the Real Madrid left back? Nelson has been offered a new deal. Saka is on the verge, I know we've heard this before, of signing a £300 a week contract at the club, which will have a release clause of 100 or 120 million. Burnley are negotiating with Arsenal. Arsenal want 17 million. Burnley want to pay 9 million for Lokonga. Hopefully, we could agree in the middle somewhere at about 12 million. Palace defender Mark Gui has been linked with a club, the centre-back who has broken into the England team. Charlie Patino, buyback clause. Now, he's got a year left on his contract, and he's asked to leave the club because we have not said he'll be amongst the first team regulars. So he wants to leave, but we're going to insert a buyback clause. Maybe it's clever, isn't it? Joe Felix available for 65 mil. Emil Smith-Rowe and Nelson to start tomorrow. Why? Zaha linked to Turkey and Fenerbahce. Mason Mount has been linked to Arsenal. And I reckon it is Cancelo, Zubamendi, and would it be Rice or Caicedo? Tomori could be a good option. He looks alright at AC Milan. But again, I don't know. I don't know, bro. So look at what we bought from Italy. Tomiyasu and Jacob. I'm so not sure. And again, Victor Osimhen. Alright, cool. Even if I think his return isn't as impressive as it should be for a club getting to like the semi-final of the Champions League, whatever they did in the Italian Cups, and winning, the fucking Italian League. Do you know what I mean? I think that guy should probably score a lot of goals, but there you go. But this is the going rate. Ivan Toney. I wasn't so sure about him, but no one will touch him now. He's banned for 8 months. Ollie Watkins, probably on the verge of a new deal at Villa. Is he necessarily better than Jesus, though? Like I said in January, guys, we need better than what we've got. Or what is the point? Trossard wasn't better for me. Jorginho wasn't better. Do you know what I mean? Possibly decent standings, but again, if you want squad players that are happy to sit on the bench and play games here and there, ain't that better being a 19, 20, 21-year-old? Do you know what I mean? Not a 31-year-old and a 28, 29-year-old. Napoli centre back United apparently. Yeah, bros. Kim. Yeah, bros. See, like he's been solid. But again, that's going to be 50, 60 mil. That is a lot for a defender. But then again, this was the guy that replaced Koulibaly, innit? And he's come in, he's had a season or two and been fucking excellent. Bayern Munich have had to publicly kind of admit they love Osimhen but couldn't afford him, bros. That's Bayern Munich. How would we have a chance? The thing is, Man City can't afford him. I don't think Liverpool could afford him either because they're going to want other positions filled, like midfield. Do you know what I mean? Chelsea, surely they won't try and get Osimhen. I reckon if they go for another striker after getting Christopher and Cuckoo, Lukaku could come back, you know what I mean? Even that Martinez, I don't trust him at Inter Milan, guys. But guys, it is almost time for me to go. Thanks for everyone who has been on the watch along. Again, I've got this feeling about Zubamendi, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, bros. Bayern have already said, bros, literally, read between the lines. We love him. We'd love to do a deal. But, yeah, bros, it's going to be virtually impossible. Napoli are hard negotiators, bros. Bayern haven't got that money, man. Bayern won't do that kind of deal. So yeah, that rules Bayern out. It's Premier League, bros. Or he sells out and goes France and just wins the league every year with PSG. Would that be good enough for him? Who knows? The money would be crazy. You know what I mean? PSG are going to lose Neymar. They're going to lose Messi, and Mbappe has been linked hard with Real Madrid, and he's got a release clause in his contract, allegedly where he can start talking to Real Madrid from this January again, because it was only a 2-year deal he signed with an option of a third. So again, they either make him again, not that he ain't a multi-millionaire, they make him a millionaire all over again, PSG, or they're going to lose that guy to Real Madrid. So PSG would be an option. Tomori is a good shout. Mendy from Real Madrid as cover. Yeah, cover for Zinni. But again, I don't know. I think it's a shame to get rid of Tierney to spend like between 17.5 and £20 million, or 20 million euros, 17.5 million on a backup left back who's 27. I don't know, a 27-year-old backup left back. It doesn't really make sense to me. Cheers, Lee, here every night, son. Mendy from Real Madrid is cover. Again, I don't know. He's 27. Real Madrid, you know what I mean? Clearly want a proper left back. One from Bayern Munich, Alphonso Davies, you know what I mean? Because he's even having trouble getting in the team. They've got two really good left backs, isn't it? Bayern Munich. Perhaps there's top level players, medium, or you know what I mean? You do what we're doing. Exactly. So why would we get Ferland Mendy to be his cover? You may as well keep Tierney. Tomorrow is a good shout. I think there's better probably in the Premier League, like you said, maybe the Palace defender, who unlike Ben White can get in the England team. Levi Colwill, 19 years old or 20. Who is the Real Madrid player on a free now? Asensio is on a free. They've got a couple of kids as well. I can't remember their names that could be coming up on a free. Asensio, yeah. And Asensio, like again, not that I think he's a great player, 27, but he has got Real Madrid and Champions League experience. Surely that's better than Mason Mount than on a free. Because anyone coming inside. I hear that, but bro, that means you need a better midfield, like you say. Salcedo, Rice, do you know what I mean? Xhaka has never been good, bro. You know what I mean? I've screamed about him for 5 years, you know? Hence why, bro, like Salcedo, Rice, people are saying 100 million. Xhaka, if he's leaving our club, we're barely getting 15 mil, bros. We're getting 13 at best. You know what I mean, bros? 13 mil. If Xhaka was any good, bros, Real Madrid and PSG would be coming in for him. And it'd be a lot more than 13 mil. But there you go. That's why. Because Xhaka ain't that good. And if you take the Xhaka party equation away, we struggle badly. And again, bros, I like what City does and got a la, but I'd rather him just be a better left back and get forward when he can, rather than worrying about coming into midfield. Like if you can, you got the time, do it. But the big teams like Man City, they catch him out. Wait to the Champions League when we've got these two fullbacks. If we had like Granit Xhaka and Partey in the midfield next season in the Champions League, and Cancelo and Zinchenko on the wings, watch what happens to us. No, mate, not at all. Again, mate, a class midfielder. Or what's the point? Is right Trent better in midfield than as a fullback? Bro, Trent ain't the worst fullback in the world, bro. Like, again, look at our right back, Ben White. Do you know what I mean? Then put his goals and his 20 assists a season in, bro. So you know what I mean? I can handle one or two fuck ups from Trent. And we've had a very good season and finished second. You know what I mean? The blip come right at the end. I don't know. How many assists did Zinni get? How many goals did Zinni get? I'm not so sure. If we saw Xhaka, we'll miss him. Man was a leader outside the little pitch. I like his attitude. And bro, I can agree with that 100%. He's the only one with a voice. Do you know what I mean? But the problem is, bro, he ain't that much of a great midfielder. Bro, honestly, do you think it would only be Bayer Leverkusen in the fucking Bundesliga that would be bidding for him? Come on, bro. Why won't Russia take him at 13 mil? They're going to get over 100 mil for Bellingham. They don't want Granit Xhaka, bros. He's shit. Bayern Munich. Why won't they take Granit Xhaka? He's got Bundesliga experience, you know what I mean? It's because he's an okay player, bros. But you know what I mean? You're not going to win league titles and Champions League with Granit Xhaka. Hence £13 million, bros. Well, bro, if he's happy to be a squad player, again, I love his voice. Again, in the All or Nothing documentary, you could see he was the only player that had balls, passion, or literally gave a shit. Do you know what I mean? But again, when Party ain't around, that's when you really see the dumbass Xhaka. I don't know, bros. Exactly. But the thing is, this might happen to Cancelo as well, bros. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm gonna have to watch him a little bit more at the start of this season because everything was cozy with him. You know what I mean? And then suddenly out the team, and Walker was flavour of the month again. Who? Granite? Don't know. Probably just the club doing what they're doing right now, doing their best to get Saka on a new deal. Rams don't want to bump a new deal. Ben White is about to be offered a contract. Nelson, new contract. He probably wants some stupid money, innit? You know what I mean? Wants to be one of the club's top earners. As he's one of the older and more experienced, and he's been there a few years. I'll bring the answer back, but that's never happening with the coach. Too much damage down there. Well, again, when Guendouzi would come back, he loved Arsenal, do you know what I mean? But yeah. And even though I love Guendouzi there as a squad player, and he's better than the Jorginho, the El Nini, do you know what I mean? And he's better than Xhaka. We still need a level above him. If we can't get Rice to say though, I'd happily bring back the guy. Of course. Of course. What about Saliba? It shows you, you know what I mean? He never really liked Saliba. I was always right about that. You don't take a shirt number off someone. You don't send someone who's much better than Holding, much better than Mari, and send him out on loan. And then when he comes back, bros, you've got to give him a new deal immediately. Chelsea don't let no one go out on loan without extending their contract by a year. And again, Tielemans is going to want a lot of money. We know this factually from sort of having talks with him before, hence why it was best to let his deal run out and not have to pay a fee for him, you know what I mean? I don't know how you think we could get Sasado, Rice, and Tielemans. And again, if we was willing to spend £12 million on Jorginho, I know for a fact Leicester would have cashed in at 12 million. Do you know what I mean? There was rumours they were willing to do a deal around deadline day at 8 million because he'd made it clear he wanted to leave. Plus, it's guaranteed. And it will come out from his agent. Again, most people, I don't know if they're not believing me, I don't know that recently, or questioning, but again, or thinking it's guesswork. Saliba, again, the ins and outs of the contract and what he's been offered, I have no idea. And it's only a feeling when I say he's been offered nowhere near enough. Even if he was to ask to be the top paid defender at the club, well, so he should be. It ain't like Gabriel's an international. Do you know what I mean? For Brazil. It ain't like Ben White's an international, but he has 130 grand a week, and it'll be more at the end of the season or the next couple of weeks when he signs his new deal. So if I was Saliba, I'd be doing the exact same. Real Madrid, I've already said they would like him. Do you know what I mean? But they're willing to wait. PSG said they'll wait to the end of the contract or buy him for whatever Arsenal want now. Because Saliba's world class, he won't be going to any, like, do you know what I mean? This isn't a Emil Smith Rowe that could be taking a step down, Villa or West Ham, with all respect, do you know what I mean? This is that level of player. For me, there is no one more valuable at this club, possibly Saka. Do you know what I mean? There is no one I'd be giving a deal to quicker. Odegaard was there last year. Do you know what I mean? What has really changed? We've got Zinni at left back. Okay, he done well. Jesus up front. The real difference this season, guys, yeah? Because it weren't Vieira, it weren't Jesus. What else did he sign in the summer? It was the coming back of Saliba from loan and calming down the whole defence. That's what turned us into a title-winning team. And like what you were saying earlier, even with Saliba's injury, if we had a goal scorer like a Haaland, the league would have been already done and dusted. Do you know what I mean? By February, March. Do you know what I mean? That's how good Saliba is. But Real Madrid or PSG will give him 200-300 grand a week. Why won't Arsenal? We're about to give Saka a 300 grand a week deal with a fucking measly little buyout clause that the big teams would have no hesitation in fucking sanctioning. So yeah, it could end bad, man. If the season starts and he's got less than a year on his deal, you know what I mean? In January, he'll be able to start talking to. No, sorry, he's got 2 years left on his contract. No, he's got a year left on his contract. In January, he can negotiate for free. So Saliba can sit back, bros. Do you know what I mean? Arsenal are now going to be held by the balls. He's a French international, one of the best defenders in the league this season. Do you know what I mean? We had Ben White last year. We had Gabriel last year. We had Ramsdale last year. If you put a gun to my head, I say Saliba signs. Well, again, I know he does want to sign for Arsenal. He's always wanted to play for us. He's always supported Arsenal. Well, again, why isn't it done already? Bro, Ramsdale, done. Odegaard will be done. Nelson, third contract offer. Like, we're putting so much heart into Nelson. Party with the least. But if Party goes as well, we do need three midfielders. Huge. Exactly. Remember, Liverpool, they don't overspend. They won't go and buy Jude Bellingham for over 100 mil. But to make them title contenders, they needed a goalkeeper. Arsenal wouldn't spend over 70 mil on a goalkeeper. Do you know what I mean? We could have done with Van Dijk at 75 mil. We've got a Van Dijk. Give him the money. He's very hard. Well, again, they're no mugs, Brighton. And again, without fucking writing a contract to the whole of the world to let them know what's happening. They've publicly said, Desegri has said, yeah, Toma and others will do best staying with me and having a European season with me. Uh, trust me, mate. Do you know what I mean? They're losing two influential players, McAllister and Caicedo. Caicedo, they've got that midfielder that they got, I think, from Sweden to replace him. But again, with European money, if they qualify for Europe, they might spend a little. McAllister, don't worry, they'll get someone for him. They might take Nelson on a free from Arsenal. They got Mintoma for 2.5 mil. They'll get a lot of money for him. And they'll make him sign a contract at the end of the season. Excuse me. In the world in 2 seasons, they have to pay him what it will cost to sign someone else. Exactly. And Saliba and his agent know this. And again, there's nothing to suggest that he's holding Arsenal to ransom. At very worst, he's basically asking to be one of the club's better played defenders. I'm so sorry, guys. Let me just blow my nose and make it easier. He's asking to be one of the club's better played defenders. Come on, Ben White, 130, you do. What are they going to give him? 160, 170? Zini earns 160. Gabriel earns, what is it, over 100 grand a week. Tierney, our backup left back. You know what I mean? Incredibly, he earns 110 grand a week. That's just not good enough. That is nowhere near good enough. Saliba earns 40 grand a week. Double your money isn't going to cut it now, 80 grand a week. Do you know what I mean? But again, this is the hierarchy and the board and the mentality of the club. Arteta likes yes men. He doesn't like people with voices. He sent Saliba out on loan. He sent Balogun away. He sent Guendouzi away. All kids, all will go and have great careers. Guendouzi will play for France, probably be a midfielder in the Premier League soon. You know what I mean? Balogun, 20 goals for a shitty team in France. He'll go on to have a successful career. And if he wants 150, bros, why not give it to him? Why not give it to him, bros? Bro, Saliba has made all of the difference this season. Do you know what I mean? We all know it. Look at the 6-7 games Saliba has missed. Go look at Arsenal's stats. It's pathetic. It's ridiculous. It's rubbish. Do you know what I mean? We could get Zaha on a free. I'm not saying he's a be-all and end-all. But why would you rush for Trossard in a few months? You know what I mean? You can get Zaha on a free. For the £12 million, you could have got, for example, a Tillemans if you wanted him. Why Jorginho? Why Jorginho? I don't get it, mate. At the start of the season, 35 million Vieira. I don't know. It all could have been different. But guys, it is about time to go though. Please the likes on the video. Do be subscribing if you're new. I will be on the watch along tomorrow. Nottingham Forest versus Arsenal. I wouldn't be surprised if we get beat. I think the players, you know what I mean? They're literally on their summer holidays. Ben White, the Orange Man himself, will be in Club 1830 at Ibiza. Do you know what I mean? Literally, if he's selected tomorrow. He doesn't care that much, Ben White. Do you know what I mean? Average player, bros. Start paying players their worth. Well, they do, bros. But again, I swear it is just Arteta. He doesn't like Saliba. Do you know what I mean? Why would you send him out on loan for 3 years? Why hasn't he got a contract as soon as he come back to the club? Bros, he's been a calming influence. This is the same team as last year, literally. You know what I mean? But now we're title fucking chasers. Saliba comes out of the team, we start leaking all goals. Liverpool 2, West Ham 2, Southampton 3, Man City 4. Do you know what I mean? Brighton 3. Ronnie Woolwork. Sounds like he's got to be Scouse. Ronnie Waller. What? Who's that? There's a role for Ben White in Towie, most definitely. Kevin Kilban, Chris Casper, Forest, Kilban, Forest or Coventry. David May, centre half, Man United, and Blackburn. Kevin Kilban, midfielder. I actually remember that motherfucker. John Solarco, Palace winger. Crystal Palace. And Grievo, I couldn't agree more. Dean Sturridge, striker, Derby County. Like the Saliba thing, bruvs. Ramsdale's been offered a new deal. He signed it, yeah? Onani's even had a new deal. Saka's had various offered to him, but he will sign at like 300 grand a week. Sturridge, yeah, I know. Dean Sturridge, striker, Derby County. There was a Dean Sturridge. Why am I confusing with someone? Stefan Okoku. Stefan Hentroff. Blackburn again and Liverpool. Hentroff. Evan Okoku. Striker. Wimbledon. Robbie Earl. Midfielder. Wimbledon. Interesting. Guys, where was I pre-fucking me? Grievo, where was I? Bruv, Saliba, it's personal, mate. Do you know what I mean? The lowest earner at the club. 40 grand a week. Tierney, backup left back, 110 a week. Zinchenko, 160. Gabriel signed a new deal. Fuck knows what he's on. Odegaard's been offered a deal. Ramsdale's just signed a deal. Nelson's been offered a deal. Saliba's got 1 year left on his contract. Thank you so much, Lee Akers. Bang. Thank you so much, my brother. Football's in the blood, my G. Football's in the blood, innit? Always has been, always will be. That's why, Lee, when you say about certain players, I'm never happy with la la la. I just think I'm right. Trossard Jorginho, for me, and I'll say it again. I'll say it until I die. Weren't good enough to win us the league, and we didn't win the league. Carl Court, striker. He was at Wimbledon as well. Did he piss off Carl Court? Definitely remember him at Wimbledon, though, anyway. William Gallas. We all know. Say no more. Guys, please hit the likes on the video. Do be subscribing if we is new. Is there anyone from the relegated? Who's getting relegated from the relegated teams that we should nick? Levea, Southampton. Again, Levea would be better than a Zubimendi for me. What's funny, Lee Akers, my brother? What did I want to look at? The Premier League table. Played for Arsenal, Spurs. Hey, it was funny, isn't it? Yeah, mate. Arsenal and Tottenham. You dick blower. Premier League table, that's all I want to look at. Right, Southampton gone, bottom. Leicester 19th, Leeds 18th. So it's from Forest, Everton, Leeds and Leicester. Forest even with a point tomorrow, safe. Yeah, Forest are safe, man. It's the bottom four. It's Everton, Leeds, Leicester that can go. Leicester, bang, Maddison. Leeds, can't think of no one really. Southampton, Levea. And any of the Leeds or Southampton goalkeepers, they're both young. Grab one of them. Levea will be a top signing. Exactly. Do you know what I mean? We go Man City and just get like so many players in their academy. If we beat Southampton, Forest tomorrow, they will quite safe. Well, they're on 37. I suppose it depends what the Leeds and Leicesters and everyone does. I would, but is it that title winner? Again, I think Odegaard could be, even though he needs a backup, but there is a Smith Rowe and Vieira, unless we're going to admit they're just both shit and they're gone. And every position should have two quality players, and it even fills the English quota. And it could be cheaper if they go down. But yes, it is someone I'll take. But again, it isn't the priority player. It's almost like signing Vieira or a Jorginho in January. Like, it's clear what we need, man. And if we're gonna get a Cancelo, a fucking liability of a right back, like the liability we have at left back, Zinchenko, that fuck off and want to be midfielders and inverted midfielders, we need two top quality fucking midfielders. And Rice and Saseda are the only two that I can think of. I think we get done tomorrow. League done, boys. We're on the beach already. I think we'll get done as well, to be honest with you. Forest on 34. Are they? They certainly are. Well, if they got a point tomorrow to be on 35, I don't know. I think it's the bottom 17, 89. Everton, Leeds, and Leicester will be the teams that will accompany Southampton down. That's their last league game. Most definitely. But don't worry, guys. Arsenal are thinking of the money, man. At home to Wolves the week after. Remember, we're releasing our new home kit, so everyone can be at the home game, at the Wolves game, with the new home shirt. Do you know what I mean? And everyone will be getting it printed, Saka, Jesus, whatever. Do you know what I mean? If I get it, I'll get Saliba, even though he might not even be there the fucking season after. If he hasn't signed by the start of the season, guys, we know what time of day it is. And Ramsdale, Odegaard, Saka, everyone else has signed. Come on, Martinelli. It's meant to be 200 grand a week. For example, if you offer Saliba 200 grand a week, mate, he takes it. Why are we fucking around with him? And why are we not giving him the money? It is ridiculous. And this is what I blame Arteta for. And this is why I don't trust trust the process, and I don't trust Arteta. Do you know what I mean? They do the same. Like, what? They both not like Saliba. Like, do you know what I mean? Surely Eddie must just say, "Bubs, like, I have to go behind your back here and get this deal done." If we beat West Ham and Southampton, we'll still be in it. Lego man is a fraud. Exactly, Bubs. Exactly. And now he's playing the left-footed centre back at the at right centre back. Do you know what I mean? Why was he playing holding? Why? Do you know what I mean? And Ketia as well, but I don't get that 100 grand a week deal. I'm not saying it was easy to get a striker in January, but you had Jesus who doesn't score anyway. Do you know what I mean? As you say, Haaland. If we had Haaland this season, we win the league, bros. You know what I mean? We've been so much calmer at the back with Saliba. He's so calm. And then funny Arsenal fans, he hasn't been the same since after the World Cup. Bollocks. Do you know what I mean? Look at the statistics when he's not in the team, and Holding or fucking Jacob is. Go and have a look closely, guys. Danny AFC TV is always right. But the club have got their priorities in different places. Like, again, I'm probably going to be guilty of buying this new home top. You know what I mean? Even though I am honestly at this moment 50-50. Next Friday, do I want to be one of the people running down to the club shop, all gas to get a new top? Play the best defender. Exactly. Like any normal manager would. Do you know what I mean? It is only managers with luxuries that can do that sort of shit, like a Pep with unlimited money at Man City. Do you know what I mean? But if shit comes to shove, bruvs, and Akanji was playing shit, he wouldn't be trying to play him there. Or he wouldn't forget about the left foot of Laporte or whatever. Do you know what I mean? But that is a Pep Guardiola thing. Just look how many left-footed defenders Pep has actually got. Aki's another one. Do you know what I mean? He's got this fucking fascination with them. And then we're going to go and buy their fullbacks. It ain't good enough for them. Well, exactly, bros. I don't know. For me, bros, in a team that's doing reasonably well, top or second in the league, it ain't like going to West Brom or Forest where you're battling. Do you know what I mean? You should be able to make an impression, you know? See, I don't know. I just judge him from what I've seen. Whether it be that little Europa League game or whatever, you know what I mean? His debut, whatever. I'm going to say he's not good enough, you know what I mean? You know when a defender's good. Look at Saliba, first game of the season, bros. Ben White was now right back. He was undroppable from the first 1, 2, 3 games. You could see how much better he was at the back with Saliba. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, buy a right back, maybe make Ben White battle, innit? But he won't want to make Ben White sit on the bench. Peace out, brother. I'm gone as well, though, brother. Literally an hour and a half on the clock, but bro, that's what I mean. How much is Jacob really gonna improve in the summer? Like, what if Saliba or Gabriel got injured at the start of the season? God forbid, and touch wood, it don't happen next season. If we ain't bought a centre back and he doesn't want to play Ben White there, Jacob again has to come in. For me, not good enough. I've seen enough of him this season to decide. If Saliba needed to be given a 3-year loan, do you know what I mean? Because he wasn't ready for the Premier League, surely this geezer needs about a fucking 8-year loan. Do you know what I mean? You could go and get Ivan Indika, a left-footed centre-back, on a free from Germany in the summer. Or just spend 50 million like you did with Ben White, you know what I mean? Just throw money at it. But funny, we can't get fucking Saliba signed to a new deal. That is definitely funny. You know what I mean? Best defender at the club by a country mile. And Jacob, I've seen enough. Not good enough for next season, guys. Again, Trusty's out on loan at Birmingham. He's a left-footed defender. He could be coming back and not a bad player next season. Birmingham want to keep him permanently, plus allegedly a couple of others in the Championship. 20 million for Jacob, bro, so I don't get it. He needs a loan. But anyway, on that note, shouts out to Akers and Yui. You have been heroes this evening. Shouts out to Grievo who come in with his quick one comment. Mwah. It was a good one though, about play the players or what they're worth. Shouts out to Ty, shouts out to Linda, shouts out to Craig, shouts out to anyone that's been in the stream tonight. Daniel, he's been in and out. I can't remember everyone, guys. Shouts out to all the real ones. Please hit the likes on the video. Do be subscribing if you're new. Please look at TikTok. I did drop another video there. Danny AFC TV TikTok. So please go like, follow, etc. And yeah, watch along tomorrow, guys. 5 p.m. live. Nottingham Forest, we Arsenal. Guys, I'm out of the place, innit? See you tomorrow, yo.